Silicon Valley, technology, art, green, and sustainability.
Welcome to another episode of Silicon Valley Tech, Art, Green, and Sustainability, SVTAGS.org. Today I have a gal with me who's doing some great work in the community, Lisa Blanchard. Welcome for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And you started the Grateful Garment Project.
Yes.
And before we go there, I'd love to hear a little bit about you and your background. You just told me something that was really interesting just before we started, so I hope you'll share that.
Sure. So I am an Army child. I'm an Army brat. And I was born in Fort Wainwright, Alaska. And then we lived in Hawaii. So I
Alaska to Hawaii. Wow.
Before moving to California when I was 10. So I've been at both extremes.
You moved when you were a baby. So you probably don't remember Alaska.
No.
Yeah.
No. And I've been in California since I was 10, many years. And it's been good to me.
And you told me that you lived on bananas and guavas, and that is great. You lived on a banana plantation, or?
When we lived in Hawaii, the housing that we lived on used to be a banana plantation. So literally, we lived in the mountains, and my backyard was a jungle. So I would leave the house in the morning and exist on guavas, passion fruit, and bananas all day long until I had to come home when the streetlights came on. And so I was like a female Tarzan in trees constantly.
I love it. So I would be like, in heaven sent, I guess Hawaii would be a great place to live. Although, I guess depending on your work, you know, it's remote. So
well, fortunately, I was a kid, so it was fine.
You didn't have to worry about that. And your dad worked for the military, so he had a job, so it was all good.
Yes.
So tell us about Grateful Garment. We met, and I don't remember if you remember this, but we met like in the parking lot at the Las Vegas Lodge, and it was when I was leaving like a Seroptimus Club meeting.
Yes.
And I know they really want you to come out and talk to them about what you're doing, maybe be a guest speaker at that. So there's an event that you'll hopefully have this next year. But tell me about what it is, how it started, and tell us what it is.
Sure. So the Grateful Garment Project is a nonprofit organization that provides victims of sexual assault clothing to wear home. So if somebody is assaulted, and this could be a man, woman, child, and they report it and they go to the hospital, they experience what's called a SART exam. SART is an acronym for Sexual Assault Response Team. So on TV you would know it as like a rape kit. And as they go through this process, they're asked to surrender the clothing they're wearing for forensic evidence. So if they don't have somebody to call to bring them clothes, or the facility doesn't happen to just have some clothes around, they literally have nothing to wear home. And
so they go home in the paper garment, basically.
They could be sent home like in a hospital gown or a paper hospital
and paper
gown.
shoes. Yeah.
Yes, and I don't know about you, but I find that completely unacceptable. And so we have this organization where we provide clothing, and we also provide food items, because as a part of the process of going through a SART exam, they're given 9 forms of medication to take. And under the best circumstances, 9 forms of medication on an empty stomach would be rough. But when you take a very nervous and anxious and stressed stomach that's probably very empty, and give them 9 forms of medication.
And they don't provide any food for them either.
Well, they're not admitted into the hospital unless they're really severely injured. It's kind of an outpatient procedure. And so they could get the standard things that they offer, like an emergency room, which is like apple juice and graham crackers or saltine crackers. But it's really not enough to sustain taking that type of medication.
Right, yeah.
So we also provide anything that you can add water and stir kind of thing, or granola bars, protein bars, nuts. A lot of times hot drinks or candy, because they're in shock, so they want a quick boost of energy.
Some comfort food.
Yes, a lot of macaroni and cheese.
I'm thinking ice cream too.
No ice cream because there's no way to store it.
Forget pudding cups. Although that's good too because it's better than, yeah.
So we provide the clothing, the food items, and we also provide grooming items because I don't know about you, but I'd probably want to scrub my body with steel wool. And people want to be able to clean up, to brush their teeth.
And they don't provide any of that either.
Some hospitals have like toothbrushes or they may have castor oil soap, but it's not really desirable. And so providing that little bit of extra touch to help them feel clean and comfortable is very important.
So you look for toothbrushes, towels, soap, that kind of stuff.
A lot of travel size stuff.
Combs, brushes.
Yes. So how the Grateful Garment Project started was actually, I was at a women's retreat and I had a chance conversation with somebody. And the conversation lasted only a few minutes. And why this is so amazing is that my brother had just passed away. My favorite brother had just passed away 10 days before. And I was very sad and kind of torn up. And I guess I was just open to an idea at that point. And so in a passing conversation, this woman and I discussed what happens when people are sexually assaulted. Actually, she told me what happens. And I remember being so absolutely shocked and appalled and picturing my daughter and other people I know wearing home a hospital gown or a paper hospital gown. And I felt compelled at that moment to like leap up and want to do something about it. And so what I said to the woman is, I'll partner with you, let's start a program. And she said, great. And we were going to exchange numbers, and neither one of us had anything to write with. And I said, well, I'm really highly visible at this retreat. Please give me your contact information. And because I was on team. And she said she would. And I left the conversation. It lasted like 15 minutes. And I never ever saw her again.
Wow.
I never saw her again. Matter of fact, I tried to find her. I called people on the retreat list that I didn't know. I even called the facility to see if maybe she worked at the facility. And nobody knew who I was talking about. Nobody saw me talking to her. It was really just kind of strange. It's like she showed up to like lay this idea out for me to take and run with. So that was in May 2010. Then I was also at this time working and going to school at Notre Dame, Dina Moore in Belmont.
Which, high five, you just got your AS degree, right?
No, I have a bachelor's.
Bachelor's, okay.
I have a bachelor's in human services.
Nice.
I got